Hey there, happy Friday. It's Joy Duling from the Joy of Membership, and I'm glad you're here, whether you are with me actually today live or watching the replay. If you are here live, I sure hope it is warmer where you are than it is here because it is freezing in central Illinois. And even as I'm sitting here in my office, my hands are like ice cubes. So if you see me or hear me rubbing my hands together, I'm just trying to stay warm today. It's hard to believe that we have launched full blast into winter. The snow that we got earlier this week hasn't even had an opportunity to really melt. So it's just crazy for it being just the middle of November. But today, what we wanted to talk about was 3 things that members wish their organizations would do better. And I think when I talk about these, it's probably going to make complete sense just based on your experience of being a member in different organizations. Because my assumption is, even though you lead some type of membership organization, or you probably wouldn't be here, you yourself are probably a member of other organizations. So you could be a member of maybe a professional association for yourself. You could be a member of a church or a member of a women's group or a Rotary Club or something like that. So I'd love for you to think about the things that I'm going to talk about today, not just from the perspective of your organization, but just what it feels like as a member to be served by a membership organization. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, to set some context here, if you have been engaged with me for any time at all, you've probably heard me say that to be successful in membership, you have to have 3 things. You need members who pay, members who play, and members who stay. So members who pay, obviously, you can't really financially make a go of it if all of your members are at a free level, or if you have, a community of people who aren't really engaged with you in a financial arrangement. So you need members who pay. Members who play are those people who are going to be engaged in what you're offering, that they see the value in what you do, and they want to participate in those offerings and benefit and receive ROI. If members don't play with you, they can't possibly receive value, and they're not likely to renew when their renewal time comes around. And then speaking of renewal, the members who stay are also very important because if you are kind of marketing and bringing people in on the front side, but you're losing them out the back side, your organization simply can't grow. So how do you get that? Members who pay, members who play, and members who stay. You really need to develop a deep understanding of how your people think and what they want. But that's easier said than done. Here are 3 things that I think members would tell you, but they probably can't articulate it. They may not even realize that they want it. But I think if you read between the lines of what they tell you, you'll find these things to be true. So the first thing is that members wish you would stop distributing surveys and start having conversations. So the reason why I say that is because the response rate on surveys is typically pretty low. Now, I don't know that I've seen any statistics on this recently, but back when I was in my master's program and we were doing survey design, the rule of thumb was that if you got a 5 to 10% response rate, that was actually good. Now, 5 to 10% of your people responding to a survey, that to me doesn't feel very enlightening. Like, I would want to hear from more people than that. And typically the people who respond to a survey are either people who are really happy or really disappointed. Those people who are kind of middle of the road tend not to respond. And I know you've probably been in the position where you've gotten a survey from an organization and maybe you've just passed it by, or maybe you've just, gotten it via email and you've just gone click, 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 and not really given it a depth of thought. So the reason why I say conversations are more important than surveys are because oftentimes the conversation behind why someone answers a question the way they do is going to give you a lot more insight into how members actually think and what they really want, but they can't clearly articulate. So the way you can have more conversations is by, specifically designing breakout sessions at your conference or building a process in your onboarding that involves, current members reaching out to new members and talking with them about what they want to get out of the association or professional society or membership-based nonprofit, whatever your organization is. When people come in, what are they looking for? And you're going to glean the most insight from a conversation around that. You can have similar conversations with people around renewal time. So let's say you contact a sampling of members as they're coming up to their renewal, and you talk about, did you get what you expected from the organization this year? If you didn't, why not? If you did, which pieces of it felt most valuable to you? What are your goals for next year? Those sorts of things. And even having exit interviews with members who have chosen not to renew, those conversations can be very enlightening as well. You certainly can't save every relationship with a member who chooses to leave because there are lots of reasons why someone might leave. But if you start recognizing themes, or there are things that you can adjust based on that exiting member feedback, that's going to be super helpful to you. So that's the first thing. Stop doing surveys and start having conversations and design opportunities to have conversations as often as you can manage. And remember that you can leverage your current members and use them in that sort of engagement role as well. So it doesn't all have to fall on your shoulders. So the second thing that I think members want us to do a better job of is to stop offering a buffet of benefits and instead start solving specific problems. So every member who joins your organization today, this week, this month, they want something to be different. So perhaps you run a professional association and a member coming in is a business owner of some kind in your industry. They want something about their business, their specific business, to be different at this time next year. So understanding what it is that is currently keeping them up at night, what problems do they want solved, that is going to help you create approaches and solutions that are going to feel more relevant to that individual person. So to the extent that you can understand which problems they want to solve and you could offer those solutions, that is going to be far more effective than a big buffet of benefits. So the third thing that I think members want us to do better at is to stop marketing and start leading. And what I mean by that is that it's really easy to fall into the trap of just, putting on one event or one networking meeting or, one webinar. And, as soon as you get done with that, you're off and you're marketing the next thing that you want members to do. And that constant cycle of, just communicating to members like what you want them to do next can feel heavy to them and feel like it is you oriented and not them oriented. What I mean by leading is that you are understanding the problems that your individual members are experiencing, and that you are leading to find solutions to those problems, that they recognize that you are on the forefront of understanding those challenges and designing solutions for them. And that feels very different than this constant cycle of marketing. Now, those three things are not things that you are going to instantly make better. These are all things that are really an iterative process to improve. So you can work on these three things this year, and next year you can work on it again, and you work on it again the following year. It's something that you can continuously improve as you develop that deep understanding of what members are wanting and the problems that they're trying to solve. So I hope that just gives you a little food for thought this week. I would love to hear your reactions. I would love to hear how you currently connect with members around what they want. And if these three things that I'm saying, I think members want, but they don't necessarily articulate, if you can see those things within your audience as you read between the lines of the surveys that you've done and the conversations that you're having, are these three things present for your organization? So that's what I have for you this week. I hope it's helpful. I hope it sparks some thinking, and I look forward to seeing you back here next week, same day, same time. Take care and have a fantastic rest of your Friday and a great weekend.